Good morning, students. Let us continue with the chapter number 12. Next topic, biotechnological applications in medicine. The recombinant DNA technological processes have made immense impact in the area of healthcare. Immense impact means a great impact by enabling mass production of safe and more effective therapeutic drugs. Further, the recombinant therapeutics do not induce unwanted immunological responses as is common in case of similar products isolated from non-human sources. At present, about 30 recombinant therapeutics have been approved for human use the world over. In India, 12 of these are presently being marketed. This data we have to remember that in worldwide 30 therapeutics are there by produced by recombinant DNA technology, out of which 12 are practiced or marketed in India. Genetically engineered insulin, one product that is obtained from a genetically engineered organism, is insulin. Management of adult onset diabetes is possible by taking insulin at regular time intervals. What would be a diabetic patient do if enough human insulin was not available? If we discuss this, we would soon realize that one would have to isolate and use insulin from other animals. Would the insulin isolated from other animals be just as effective as that secreted by human body itself, and would it not elicit an immune response in the human body? कुछ क्वेश्चंस हैं कि अगर एडल्टहुड में डायबिटीज़ की प्रॉब्लम होती है तो उसे मैनेज करने के लिए इंसुलिन की ज़रूरत पड़ती है. ह्यूमन इंसुलिन इतना सफिशिएंट अमाउंट में नहीं होता कि वो सारे पेशेंट्स को सेटिस्फाई कर सके. एज अ रिज़ल्ट कुछ क्वेश्चंस अराइज होते हैं कि क्या करेंगे वो डायबिटिक पेशेंट अगर इनफ इंसुलिन नहीं हुआ तो. क्या उन्हें हम किसी और एनिमल से आइसोलेट कर सकते हैं, और अगर एनिमल से आइसोलेट किया तो क्या वो उतने इफ़ेक्टिव होंगे जितने ह्यूमन बॉडी में बनने वाला इंसुलिन इफ़ेक्टिव होता है. साथ ही साथ अगर किसी फॉरेन एनिमल से या किसी और एनिमल का प्रोडक्ट है, फॉरेन प्रोडक्ट है, तो हो सकता है ह्यूमन बॉडी उसके अगेंस्ट इम्यूनोलॉजिकल रिस्पॉन्स जनरेट कर दे. So now imagine if bacterium were available that could make human insulin. Suddenly the whole process becomes so simple. We can easily grow a large quantity of bacteria and make as much insulin as we need. और पता है बैक्टीरिया के लिए या बैक्टीरियल प्रोडक्ट्स के लिए हमारी बॉडी इम्यून भी जनरेट नहीं करेगी. Think about whether insulin can be orally administered to the diabetic people or not, and why. Insulin used for diabetes was earlier extracted from pancreas of slaughtered cattle and pigs. Insulin from an animal source, though, caused some patients to develop allergy or other types of reaction to the foreign protein. क्योंकि वो उनमें बना हुआ इंसुलिन था तो वो विदाउट एनी प्रोसेस बहुत लोगों को एलर्जी कॉज कर गया. Insulin consists of two short polypeptide chains, chain A and chain B, that are linked together by disulfide bridges. In mammals, including human, insulin is synthesized as a prohormone. Like a proenzyme, the prohormone also needs to be processed before it becomes fully mature and a functional hormone. It contains an extra stretch called C-peptide. This C-peptide is not present in the mature insulin and is removed during the maturation into insulin. The main challenge for production of insulin using rDNA techniques was getting insulin assembled into the mature form. In 1983, Eli Lilly, an American company, prepared two DNA sequences corresponding to chain A and chain B of the human insulin and introduced them in plasmids of E. coli to produce insulin chain. Chains A and B were produced separately, extracted and combined by creating disulfide bonds to form human insulin. Here is the figure showing maturation of proinsulin into the insulin. The C-peptide is cut and the insulin chains are ligated. Gene therapy. If a person is born with a hereditary disease, can a corrective therapy be taken for such a disease? So, gene therapy is an attempt to do this. Gene therapy is a collection of methods that allow correction of a gene defect that has been diagnosed in a child or embryo. Here, genes are inserted into a person's cell and tissues to treat a disease. Correction of genetic defect involves delivering a normal gene into the individual or embryo to take over the function of and compensate for the non-functional gene. जीन थेरेपी मीन्स वी आर गिविंग जीन्स इन द थेरेपी. हम जीन इंसर्ट कर रहे हैं किसी एम्ब्रियो या इंडिविजुअल में ताकि जो डिसफंक्शन जीन है उसे रिप्लेस किया जा सके. The first clinical gene therapy was given in 1990 to a 4-year-old girl with adenosine deaminase deficiency, that is ADA deficiency. This enzyme is crucial for the immune system to function. The disorder is caused due to the deletion of the gene for adenosine deaminase. In some children, ADA deficiency can be cured by bone marrow transplantation. In others, it can be treated by enzyme replacement therapy, in which functional ADA is given to the patient by injection. But the problem with both of these approaches that they are not completely curative. As a first step towards gene therapy, lymphocytes from the blood of the patient are grown in culture outside the body. A functional ADA cDNA is then introduced into these lymphocytes, which are subsequently returned to the patient. However, as these cells are not immortal, the patient requires periodic infusion of such genetically engineered lymphocytes. However, if the gene isolate from marrow cells producing ADA is introduced into the cells at the early embryonic stages, it can be a permanent cure. Molecular diagnosis, the third application in the medicinal field. We know that for effective treatment of a disease, early diagnosis and understanding its pathophysiology is very important. Patho means whatever pathogen is there, how it is working, what reactions it is doing. Using conventional methods of diagnosis, that is serum and urine analysis, early detection is not possible. So recombinant DNA technology, PCR and ELISA are some techniques that serve purpose of early diagnosis. So rDNA technology, PCR and ELISA are the techniques which are very useful in the diagnosis of any disease at a very early stage. Presence of a pathogen, that is bacteria, virus, etc., is normally suspected only when the pathogen has produced a disease symptom. But by this time, the concentration of pathogen is already very high in the body. However, very low concentration of bacteria or virus can be detected by amplification of the nucleic acid by PCR. Can you explain how PCR can detect very low amount of DNA? PCR is a system or technology which amplifies the small amount of nucleic acid into a larger amount of nucleic acid. PCR is now routinely used to detect HIV in suspected AIDS patients. It is being used to detect mutations in the gene in the suspected cancer patients too. It is a powerful technique to identify many other genetic disorders. A single-stranded DNA or RNA tagged with a radioactive molecule, that is probe, is allowed to hybridize to its complementary DNA in a clone of cells, followed by detection using autoradiography, whatever we have done in the DNA fingerprinting. The clone having the mutated gene will hence not appear on the photographic film because the probe will not have complementarity with the mutated gene. ELISA is based on the principle of antigen-antibody interaction. Infection by pathogen can be detected by the presence of antigen, glycoprotein, or by detecting the antibodies synthesized against the pathogens. So these are the technologies which we can use for the early diagnosis of any disease. So this was Molecular diagnosis.